King Cyrus's fatherhood. At noon, Robert high, like only he could. The fables are bizarre but good. It's myth understood.
Myth understood. Let me be a myth understood.
Yeah, beautiful. Hey, thanks for joining another episode of Myth Understood with me, Paul Bianchi, and her, Sarah Oliver.
Hey.
You know, I just noticed something about the voice in Zen's voice in the song right
What
then.
did you notice?
That he does fables bazaar. He uses a little voice right there. I don't think I ever
bazaar.
I mostly noticed that he has a lovely singing voice, but the characterization right there was really
the
good.
more you listen to this talent, the more you have Zen's talent seep deep within side you.
Gotcha.
And me.
Well, there we go.
There and all of us.
If you're wondering at home and saying, wow, Sarah sounds like she's losing her marbles, it's because she just traveled all the way across country for maybe the
29th.
Yeah, it's happened so much since I've known you.
Wait, has it really?
Yes.
Well, okay, so before I moved out to LA, I was in Georgia for like 10 months for no good reason, and then I drove all the way out to LA.
Yeah.
And then I've driven to Texas and back because my parents live there. And then I drove Chelsea out to Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I've done it too many times. And every time I do this drive, I say, I'll never again. Never again.
You know, Callum has, like a lot of Europeans have this idea that driving Route 66 is a really exciting thing to do, like driving across the country.
Uh-huh.
And I think it can be, like there are moments that it can be, but I also don't think that they understand that, like in Europe, everything's a lot closer together.
Yeah.
And that in America, it's just like corn. So much of it is corn.
Yeah, well, and just so much is just dead space if you're talking like Texas. And look, come at me if you want, but fuck all the highways in Texas. My parents live there. I've been there a lot. Come at me.
What? I'm wondering who will come at you about
Texans. They love it.
They love their highways?
They love that it's just nothing but empty space, and they get to have, just giant shopping centers everywhere where it looks like giants live there. But you're normal people. I've seen you. You're normal sized.
Right. Well, in any case, it's really lovely to have you back here and your vehicle back here.
Oh, I think I'm going to take her out back and put her down old Yeller style. I don't want her to even...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Oh, man. At the end of the drive, though, really struggling because you are also a Honda fitter. And...
Oh, it was...
Oh, she was screaming by the end where I was just like...
Well, yeah, and in the heat.
It was the grapevine, too. The end was the grapevine. So what a cherry on top.
The grapevine?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I came up through the 40, not the 10.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what that meant. I was like, you heard what through the grapevine?
I heard it from the grapevine. I came down through the grapevine.
Okay.
The grapevine, for those listening, is a massive, steep mountain that you have to drive over if you take a certain route to LA.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. I didn't know it was called that.
You didn't know that?
Mm-mm.
You're exiled.
Well, then we're going to miss out on today's myth.
No, gimme.
Okay, well, so today's myth is maybe the myth that you were just talking to me about. It's more of a folklore than a myth.
Oh. It's about a lady?
It's about a lady.
Oh, then
Yeah.
I know this one.
Then you know it already.
I might.
Okay. Well, it has a couple of names. And one of its names is Beth. One of its names, though, is the princess in the leather burqa.
The princess in the leather burqa.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds very warm for the desert. So I don't know. I told you that I read this folklore where like it's a female hero, but I read it like 8 months ago. And then at that point was like, bookmark, I gotta do this on Myth Understood, so this will be new to me, even if I've read it already.
Okay, well then, here we go. The Princess in the Leather Burqa. The way this one begins, like translated, written, is neither here nor elsewhere lived a king. What a beginning!
What a beautiful world.
Yeah. It's sort of it's like the original A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Yeah.
That's
Imagine a world, but better.
This king has no name.
Wait, I thought you said neither here nor there.
Neither here nor elsewhere lived a king.
Okay, I took that as there's no king that's existing, not
No. This is a king that lives
in
neither
a weird
here
place.
nor elsewhere.
Okay, got you. So king's existing in the nothingness.
In the nothingness.
All right.
Yeah, but it is a place.
Anyway,
this king has no name. What should we call him?
Stefan.
Stefan.
With a V, though. You say it PH, but it's with a V.
Oh, he's very particular, isn't he? He loved his wife and his daughter above all things. One day, his wife dies. And he is devastated by her loss. The end. But just kidding. After he mourned for months, he decided that if he were able to marry again,
Gonna get back on Match.com.
The only way he would ever consider marrying another woman is if it was a woman so similar to his wife that she could comfortably wear his late wife's anklet, like, but with like the chain that attaches to your toe. Like she has to fit that.
That's just a way of like figuring out body types you like. Like, I don't want to say no chubsters, but on my profile, but here, try this on. And that's not nice.
Well, I also think that like the amount, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never worn an anklet with a toe chain before. Yet. In my future. I do feel like you don't, it's not like I feel like a bunch of people would fit that. Like,
no, look at these strong cankles here. No way. No, I'd break right through it. And then it's also a toe to ankle ratio.
Yeah.
So now no massive feet like me. I'm feeling left out.
Well,
so this is like a weirder like mall kiosk version of Cinderella.
It has some Cinderella similarities.
All right.
Enter the king's matchmaker.
Hello.
I'm here to solve your problems. And she walks up to the king.
She's a horse?
No, those are her heels
against
the tiled floor.
But we can marry the two ideas, and she can have those heels that look like hooves.
Oh yeah,
you've seen them.
She's really fashion backwards. And she says, "Do not worry, my king. I know exactly how to solve your problem."
Oh, perfect. You're going to find someone who is exactly like my wife, but also like her ankles.
Mm-hmm. Guess who? Guess who fits this? The only person in the kingdom who fits the anklet.
Is it you?
Not me. No, I'm wearing these cool shoes. It's your daughter.
That's a hard pass because that's the way this story should go.
Nope, no. So the king says, "Well, fine.
No.
Yeah, I'll marry my daughter."
No.
It's the only logical thing to do. So he set about arranging the wedding.
Oh, I'm going to throw up.
And in doing this, the king also neglects to tell his daughter of her impending nuptials because he's not sure how to bring it up.
Yeah, it's a weird father-daughter talk.
Yeah. And they were very close.
Well, they're about to get closer. She better run away.
And the princess is very, very confused why she's not learning. She's like learning that, okay, my dad's going to get married to this woman I've never met before. Who is it? And why won't he tell me? Why will no one tell me? This is
God. So like the wedding ceremony, the wedding planners running around like, we've got to get this and the roses and this, and does the bride know yet?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the wedding plan. This is like the wedding planner's hell right now.
Yeah.
It's
a real main character.
So eventually she's like losing her mind about this because she's like,
Who's my new stepmom?
Who's my new stepmom? I have to know. So that I can parent trap her. So she bribes a servant close to the king, and the servant finally says, "All right, well, thanks for the quarter because we're poor. Yeah, it's you. Yeah."
And is she okay? And I'm guessing she's also underage, just to make this triply bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, but she does fit the anklet and the toe ring, so she's got to be at least her mom's size at this point.
No, that's small moms and daughters catch up pretty quick. Like I was my mom's shoe size at like 7.
Yeah. Well, so the princess's response is fuck no. Nope, not marrying my dad. Love him. Don't love him. And so immediately after being told this, she runs into her room, and there's a set of double doors to her balcony. She grabs a curtain rod as a pole vault, and she Princess Jasmine's like right over those castle walls.
Is that really what happens?
Yeah, she vaults
She
over
pole vaults? I love her.
She pole vaults over the castle walls without any...
Just absolutely yeets herself.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she lands... Like, this is like very Disney. She lands like, goes like through some like tarps, and then lands in a leather tanner's yard on a pile of recently tanned leather, which definitely means she like smells like piss, like just like that.
Smells like piss?
Yeah, because that's how you like tan leather.
I didn't know that.
You soak it in urine.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Still?
Unsure if still, but definitely in ye olden times.
All right, guys, tell us on our Instagram if people are still soaking leather and piss.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And how to do it at home.
So she rolls off of the pissy leather.
Okay.
And she meets the leather tanner. And she's dressed like a princess. And so he immediately bows and gives her reverence. And she's like, no, get up. I need your help. She shoves a fistful of coins into his hand. And she says, please, fashion me a head to toe disguise.
Literally cover my toes because that's what he wants.
That's what he is. My dad's a footman. And the tanner is like, yes, this is more money than I've ever seen in my life, and you're my princess. I'll do anything for you. You sit in the corner. Don't you worry. I'm gonna make you the best fucking disguise
I'm hoping these are winter months
you've
though.
ever seen. I
hope it's a fall wedding.
It's it's Egypt, so it's still like,
oh, she's gonna be so warm.
She's gonna be so warm.
She'll be sweating.
So he works all night making this disguise for her, like scrapping together leather, and she hears him working and sewing.
I feel like it wouldn't be that hard.
Punching. I mean,
but he's like, let me do it, but let me do this like drag race style. This is gonna be a fit.
Well, this is I've sewn leather together before, and it's hard. You have to like literally, it's hard. So you have to.
I thought he was just gonna like give her the just cut out eye holes, man.
You thought he was just gonna
ghost
dress
style.
her like a ghost?
Yeah.
Well, in a way, he kind of does, but he has to scrap it together first. And when he. After a night of tireless effort, he proudly presents the princess with the fruits of his labor, and it's a nasty, like, patchwork quilt of leather scraps.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope that she really thought she's going to come out like Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. And there she is.
That's definitely what she, like, ordered, but he gave her the wish version.
This is the wish version, yeah.
It is, like, there's things dangling off of it. It's, like, it doesn't even read, like, Burqa. Like, it reads monster. Like,
love this.
And here's the thing is I'm not even really sure what she expected though. He's a leather tanner. Like he's not a tailor.
No.
He's like, I just put piss on leather.
I just piss on this.
Yeah. So it's her only hope for escape. She's worried that like as soon as she exits out of the leather tanner's workshop anyway, that like someone will see her in
people know these slender ankles.
And so
he just has a missing person flyer, and it's just from ankle down.
Have you seen these? So she puts on the burqa, and it's awful and sweaty and hot, and she's like, okay, well, gotta get out of here though. Need to escape my wedding.
I wish she just went like, hey, I see all this leather, but you have a bed sheet inside. Something linen, breathable.
No. So she sludges out of the tannery, and
she's gonna pass out.
And as she heads towards the city gates, she is stopped by a pair of guards. There's guards everywhere, and these guards are searching for the missing princess. And they say, "Excuse me, thing. What are you? Where are you going? What's going on?"
Whew, it's hot. Is it hot? Are you guys hot in here? Is it out here? Is it me?
And she responds to him, to the guards, in poem.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Red leather, yellow leather.
she says, "My name is Juleda, for my coat of skins.
Ew.
My eyes are weak. My sight is dim. My ears are deaf. I cannot hear. I care for no one, far or near." We were just looking for the princess.
She had that whole night to come up with something. So yeah, she's used it up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's like, I have to talk like the common folk. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
How do they talk in rhyme?
Yeah.
So yeah, it works. The guards.
I mean, obviously, get the fuck away from me.
The guards let her pass, and she escapes the city. She flees on foot to a neighboring country.
She glides on a pool of sweat straight out of the city gates.
Yeah, it's like Iceman.
Yeah.
In short order, the word of her arrival spreads through this new land, and people talk about it because they're like, "There's a giant slug that just is like oozing around the dunes,
Yeah.
and it's coming this way." And some of them even think like it's a demon, like there's a demon heading our way. And the queen of this land is very renowned for being wise and has measured decision-making skills. Demands immediately, "Well, this is great. Let's bring this potentially supernatural creature to my palace."
This sounds hilarious. Invited in.
She wanted to I think maybe that's it. She's like so bored. Like let's bring in some entertainment.
Bitches love ghosts.
Yeah. And so the servants find the princess in her slug outfit.
Probably passed out.
Passed out under the heat.
Yeah.
They're terrified to greet her. When they speak to her, she just has her poem that she's like deliriously rambling at this point.
Saying it backwards.
Like at first it was a lie, and now she's like, "My eyes are weak. My sight is dim." They pick her up and they carry her to the palace, and the queen asks when she sees it, she's like, "This is such a fantastic leather couture outfit."
Yes.
It's
Who designed you? Who are you wearing?
Yeah. And she says, "You look like a filthy pile of refuse. Can you please tell me who or what you are?" And she repeats again, "My name is Juleda, for my coat of skins. My eyes are weak. My sight is dim. My ears are deaf. I cannot hear. I care for no one, far or near." What's funny is that at this point, twice now, people have said, "Who are you?" And she responds, clearly,
But she's saying, "I'm deaf."
"I'm deaf."
Mm-hmm.
People are buying it.
She's not. Yeah.
But people are like, "Oh, she's deaf.
Yeah.
She must be a great lip reader."
Yeah.
Yeah. The queen is delighted to have a terrifying thing in her life. And so she says, "Juleda, what skills do you possess? Where can I put you to work?"
And because she's deaf, she answers.
Because she's deaf, she answers.
Wow. She's not good at her own con.
"Well, anything you ask me to do, I'm ready to try. But remember, my ears are deaf and my eyes are weak, so be careful." And the queen says, "You know what? I'm going to have you work in the kitchen. I bet you are a terrific cook."
Why?
I don't know, Sarah. And
she says, "But yeah, and keep on that outfit. That sounds sanitary."
because people don't know if it's even an outfit. People think that it just that is the creature.
Oh, she's just some entity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because they can't see her hot ankles, so they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way you tell if something's human.
Mm-hmm. And she's leaving a trail of sweat slime behind
That's
her.
true.
And she's like, "You know where I need you is preparing everyone's food.
Yeah, right.
You look so sanitary."
Yeah.
So Juleda has gets employed, and they
Fills out her W-2.
Yeah, she's ready to work, and the queen, after some time of her working there, the queen decides to hold a small soiree. I don't know. I just
And
didn't
serve
say party.
sherbet.
Yeah. What?
Serve sherbet.
Serve
Sorbet.
sorbet.
Sherbet.
Sorbet at the soiree. Yes. And she invites the palace staff as well.
Yeah.
Julita,
It's a themed party, I'm imagining.
Mm-hmm. Julita initially just says when she's invited, like, my eyes are weak, and she does the poem again, and people are like, oh, classic Julita.
But I love to party.
But after some time, she's like, you know what? I'm so hot.
Oh, finally.
I need to party. I'm a princess after all. So she goes in secrecy. She removes her skin outfit.
Oh,
and
why? Oh, she
it's
keeps calling it a robe of skin. Oh.
And she has her beautiful princess gown underneath.
What? Why?
Because that's what she was wearing.
Well, don't. That's even more heat.
She loves layers.
Oh.
And so she arrives at the party looking elegant. Just like,
Oh, so she leaves the skin off.
Yeah, she leaves the skin. She doesn't dress her gown on top of the skin.
Okay.
She arrives as herself, looking gorgeous and radiant, looking more wealthy than everyone else at the party.
So already she feels like, I've been here a day. I'm out of the danger zone.
Oh, this is after a few days.
Oh, okay.
But
Montage.
yeah, she arrives very much looking like Eliza Doolittle in what
My Fair Lady.
My Fair Lady. That's the thing. Yeah, you know how she, in that scene where she does her whole shtick where she's like, "How kind of you to let me come." Like, she looks like a princess when she arrives. She looks like royalty. And that's exactly what Julita does when
she was in her skin suit, she was talking in Cockney.
I think so. Yeah, I think that tracks. And so she caught everyone's attention. Everyone wanted to know about her, who she was, where she came from.
Where are those ankles from?
And I'm not from here. Oh gosh, I don't have a poem for this. And she panics and she decides to pull some of her literal golden sequins. Like, it's not plastic sequins, like real made of gold, from her gown.
Yeah.
Pulls them off of her gown, chucks them on the ground like a ninja smoke bomb, and everyone who's poor, because there's servants invited to this event, bend down and create commotion to grabbing the gold, and she disappears in the middle.
All right,
of the
more Cinderella parallels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she escapes undetected, but the queen is just so stunned by this beautiful young woman.
Oh my god, is this going to be a lesbian love story?
It is not.
Oh, darn it.
She thinks, I need to find a bride for my son.
Oh.
And so she barges in her son's room the next morning, kicks down the door like, yeah. Junior.
Well, she's got her eyes covered. Like, am I clear?
Yeah, and her son's like there, like behind a pile of laundry and like pizza boxes, and she's like, "Hey, you weren't at the party last night. I didn't expect you to come. I have been neglecting you. I should have found someone for you to marry at this point, but I think I found her. You're my son, and I love you, and I know that you only like hot ankles. And there is this woman with the hottest ankles. She showed up at the party last night. She's your age. She looks about your age, I hope. And we need you to get married to her."
Mom, you can take your hand off your eyes. I'm not jerking it.
Well, what is that noise then? He has a shake weight.
Exactly.
And the prince is very intrigued by the tales of the alluring party crasher, and he decides,
hot ankles or hankles. Spread the word.
Yeah, he's like, I need to get at those hankles.
Yeah.
And so he says, Mom, the answer is clear. Clearly she loves to party. You got to hold another great party. Invite everyone. She'll show up again. And his mom's like, yeah, that's a great idea. So she decides to host another gathering the next week, and invites the whole staff again. And again, Julita cannot resist a good party.
No, who can?
Yeah. And
What's the theme of this one?
this one is
Prom theme.
This one's
80s prom.
no, it's futuristic, so thus it's a
Ooh.
toga party.
Whoa.
Yeah, there you go. And Julita slips into the party once again. Once it's at full force, she likes to arrive fashionably late, and she refuses to answer anyone's questions the entire night. She just like walks around, eats the foods at the snack table that she made, and
Yeah, this is my ideal party.
and at the moment when like it gets too much for her again, too much attention is on her, she does the same thing. She takes some pearls from her dress, throws them to the ground, and
Does it say pearls?
Yeah.
This is an interesting design.
oh, pearls and gold. Yeah,
I'd like to see a mock-up of this.
yeah, it's
I'd like to see a mock-up of all the outfits mentioned so far.
yeah, it's a white and gold outfit.
Or is it blue and black?
It might be blue and black. And she tries to make her escape, but as soon as she makes her escape, the prince heads her off and
Trips her.
and tries to grab her.
Oh, God.
But grabs her wrist, but she's so sweaty, so
She slips right out.
she slips right out of his grasp, and his ring comes off in her hand. And
Ooh, she's a little thief now, too. I
and
like
she
it.
takes it from him. And as
Rich kids get klepto. They do.
And as she's running away, he yells after her, "Wait! At least tell me where you come from."
Nah, bitch.
And she says, what does she say?
Nah, bitch.
No, she says, "I live in the land of paddles and ladles." And then she vanishes.
Paddles and ladles.
Yeah, the kitchen.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's a paddle in the kitchen? What are you paddling?
Like
You make like a really big broth and you gotta get
like
London.
like a charcuterie board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't know what that means though. He's a prince. He doesn't know what the kitchen is.
Yeah, yeah.
So the next day, he gets all of his bros together. And he's like, "Listen, I met the hot lady last night. Jeff, I gotta find Paddle Ladle Land."
Paddle ladle land. Paddle ladle land. That's one word?
Paddle Ladle Land. I believe that's what she said.
It's
Mike-
a country. I've been there.
Mike, do you have any ideas?
Paddle. She lives in a swamp.
Okay, the swamp.
Swamp
Yeah,
girl.
great. I love it. I love the way you think. Let's stop by the kitchen and get some food for our journey to the swamp.
Okay.
Okay, great. And so that's what they do. They go to the kitchen. They get food for the journey.
They drink out of cartons and they put it right back.
He sees the possibly blind, deaf, possible like demonic Julita in the kitchen making the food. And he's like, "Oh, hey, Julita. Yeah, I've heard your poem before. Yeah, it's great." She gives him a terribly ugly, misshapen cake. And
Is that what it really?
and gives it to him for his journey.
She's no good at cooking.
No. And he sets out. He's like, yeah, thanks, Julita. They head out towards the swamp, and on their way, they get hungry, and they're like, "I guess we can eat this disgusting cake that Julita made."
Why did that just make my mouth water? I must be really hungry.
You are really hungry. Disgusting cake. And he bites into it and cracks his tooth.
Oh, she put his ring in it.
Yes.
What a little freak.
She puts his ring in it, and he realizes Paddle Ladle Land. Like ladles. That's a utensil, isn't it?
It's the only utensil I use.
It is how you eat your cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he about faces, starts running in the other direction. Like, oh my gosh, it's Julita. That whole thing is a disguise. And he returns to the kitchen and he says, "Julita, you're the hot lady from the party."
I can't hear that.
He's like, "I'll make you hear it." He pulls a knife off the wall.
Oh,
and he cuts through the costume.
That's so dangerous. Just pull it off of her if you're that desperate.
Slices it, nicking her neck.
Did he?
No, but I assume.
Yeah, I assume there's casualties here.
Outfit falls away, and there's Julita in all of her glory underneath her.
Just pasties on.
Yeah, just with pasties, and she just starts shimmying.
I mean, at
immediately.
this point, that's what I'd be wearing under there.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, he says, "Well, this is great. I love you.
No,
Let's get married."
no,
And she says, "Sure. Here's the thing.
you're not my dad.
You're not my dad." And that's better.
Yeah.
So they live in bliss for a little bit.
Uh-oh. Then here comes daddy.
You do know this story.
No, I don't
then.
know this. This isn't the story I read.
It isn't the story.
No.
Okay. And Julita's incest happy father comes looking for his daughter.
I need those ankles.
And so she hears that he's coming, and she says, "Prince, I never learned your name. you're my husband now. You should go meet up with my dad first." And here his dad arrives with the matchmaker. They're still friends.
Yeah.
And the prince arrives, and Julita does another disguise. This time,
Mustache and glasses.
yeah, she doesn't have her cool outfit anymore. And throughout the interaction, Julita keeps bringing up like, "Hey, I heard that you had a princess that like fled from you because you were trying to marry her. Like that's fucked up."
Yeah. Good.
And the matchmaker is like, well, yeah. I mean, it was my suggestion, but like, your father, well, not your father. I mean,
A father
is a good guy. It becomes like this really awkward situation where they're talking until finally Julita like takes off her glasses and mustache and says, "It is I, your daughter, and I found love here in this land, and Dad, you're a piece of shit for trying to marry me." And her dad's like, "Oh my gosh, you know what? You're right. I was a piece of shit for trying to marry you. I don't know why I listened to this matchmaker in the first place. Here's half of all of my fortune. This is now rightfully yours."
It is. Now please leave.
And he says, "Wait,
No.
you and I have unfinished business."
No, we don't. We don't. I promise it's finished.
"Because this terrible matchmaker made me almost marry you. What say you and I,
Can we behead her?
father and daughter, take this poor old woman and shove her off a cliff together?"
Dad, you know I love that. Let's throw her around like a football.
Yeah. And so they throw her like a football
Go
outside.
long.
Real long. And they toss her right off of a cliff.
They did?
Uh-huh. And everyone lives happily ever after.
But just, wow.
Except for the matchmaker lady.
He is not taking any accountability
No.
in that thing. Like, well, it was her idea, and so I had to. I had to try
Basically,
to
yeah.
marry you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, honestly, it's a better Cinderella.
Who would have thought that just switching it from glass slipper to an anklet with a toe chain would make it so much better?
Yeah, that's the only change I noticed.
That's the only change I
narratively.
saw
It
too.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, the ending of the matchmaker falling to her death, or does she?
Mm.
Maybe her hoof heels catch on a rock or a tree limb,
And she it breaks her ankle before falling to her death.
No, she crawls back up,
Oh, uh-huh.
and then she becomes the leather toga monster.
Oh, it's the origin of Leatherface.
Yeah.
You spent too much time in Texas.
Yeah. Oh boy, it's too much of Texas. Come at me about it. Boom, 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 boom. Do you want to have some one of a kind outfit?
Boom, 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 boom. Do you want to look like no one else ever who's ever lived?
Boom, 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 boom. Do you want to smell like a piss?
Boom, boom,
Boom, boom, boom, boom.
Yes! If you said yes to all these questions, you should come to Danny's Leather Tannery.
Danny's Leather Tannery.
We have every outfit that you never asked for.
Monster?
We got it.
Slug?
We got it.
Monster slug.
Monster slug, we got it.
He's so sweaty.
You love it.
Donnie's Leather Tannery.
Boom, 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 boom. What I enjoyed about that one in particular was that you just started going boom, boom, and I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah. But you got there.
But I got there. Boy, and what a success it was.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that myth.
So it was definitely not the folklore.
No, it was not.
Okay.
No, it was not. I'll have to get down. I'll have to get downtown and figure out what it was I read. But it was of the same, like, more fable than myth.
Yeah.
So it was more like.
I do think that this had one aspect of what you said, though. It was definitely a female heroine who was fighting for her cause, which is not to get married to her own dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I can imagine the Disney version of it in my head.
It's already being written.
Yeah.
It's been optioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What animal friends would you give her?
Oh, well, an actual slug who's like wisecracking, who's like, "You trying to be like me?
You trying to be like me?
You'll never be like me."
Are there desert slugs?
There's in this story.
And then like maybe a camel.
Maybe a camel. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's how she gets to the ball.
Yeah.
The camel.
Does the camel speak, or is it one of the non-speaking sorts of characters?
Oh, like Abu.
Yeah, like Abu or like Philippe in Beauty and the Beast.
I think he's non-speaking, but highly sarcastic with his eyes.
Yeah.
You can see it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the prince, he doesn't matter. But the queen, she's hilarious.
Mm.
Yeah, larger than life.
Yeah. Is she like I imagined her like sort of like the fun Cruella. Like she's like very, very
Extra, but not evil.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like she's obsessed with the fashion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Okay.
We're on the same page. Well, let's get made.
Yeah, we'll do it. Well, yeah, thanks for listening to this episode of Myth Understood, and it feels so lovely to be back sharing these absurd ancient stories.
It feels so right.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this tale and you want to learn more about us and our lives, you can follow us individually at the Paul Bianchi and the Sarah Oliver. You can follow us at _Myth Understood, and you can follow this podcast network at Dragon Wagon Radio.
Yeah, and those are on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah. And you know what? You can also rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. We like that.
If it's good.
And you can join our Discord community, which is full of a lot of people who like talking on Discord, which is great.
Yeah, it's a really active and fun community, and I like to use my sticker.
Yeah, the little sticker of Sarah's face going.
Yeah.
Pss, pss, pss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we love you, and night-night.
Night-night.
Hello, workers of the world. My name is James Mastriani.
And my name is Matt Newell.
And we are writers and performers and comedians and also hosts of the show Good Work, a laid-back conversational roundtable presented by the century-old newspaper, The Chief.
Yeah, we're going to be discussing labor politics, what it means to be a worker in America, and more. Everything with a pro-worker slant.
Join us and producer Jake on Good Work on Dragon Wagon Radio.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever you get them.
Wherever you can get them.
It's Dragon Wagon.